Hello and welcome to this video on ratio and proportion. This is an important chapter in arithmetic with respect to aptitude exams. Not only will you find this chapter helpful in many Cohn's problems, you will also see application of this concept in various data interpretation questions when you have to compare ratios or numbers. So in this video, I'll discuss the basic concept of ratios. I'll discuss the concept of proportion and why it's helpful. I'll also learn unitary method and its application in the exam. And most importantly, we will also solve a few questions together. So let's get started. First, I would like to draw your attention on the basic concept of ratios. In my last video, I explained, let's say if we have in a class 60 students, total number of students, and you have, let's say, 40 girls and 20 boys in that same class, right? Now, I said the difference between ratio and fraction is always part to whole. That means fraction is the relationship of part to whole. So if I say what is the number of boys in the class, you can say 20 by 60. Whereas if ratio represents the relationship between part to part, that means if I say what is the ratio of boys to girls, it will be 20 by 40. Now the concept of ratio is important, and why I say that is that it shows the relationship between two things. However, one thing to note here is, so for example, if you have to compare ratios, if I say 2 by 3, the ratio is equivalent to, let's say, 20 by 30. It is also equivalent to 40 by 60. What is the meaning of this? Is that if you simplify, the primary ratio is really the same, which is 2 by 3 in this case. Or if you have to find the decimal value, it would be the same for this one as well as this fraction as well as this, all these three ratios. Now another important thing to note is if something is given as the ratio of, let's say, 3 by 5 randomly, or anything, let's say, or 4 by 6. What does this mean? That means the ratio, if let's say, they say do not compare apples to oranges, but I will tell you, you can do so with the help of ratios. So if I say for every 3 apples, you have 5 oranges. But from the ratio of apples to oranges is 3:5. Can you calculate what is the actual number of oranges? I would say no. What this actually means is they are in the same ratio, but they could be something like this, right? Where there is some value of k. It could be 1 also, but it could be 2, it could be 200, it could be 2 lakhs also. So you cannot find out the value of exact number of, let's say, oranges. You can't find the exact number of apples only on the basis of ratio. And more importantly, if it's written as a ratio, it has two parts, right? So let's say your numerator upon denominator. Anything you multiply in numerator, you have to multiply in denominator also, or anything you divide by numerator and denominator, you have to make it same. And let's say if you have the ratio of 2 by 3, if you multiply this by 2 on both sides, so it will become 4 upon 3 into 2, 6. But this is same. That means multiplication or division by any number on numerator and denominator does not change the actual value of that ratio. So this is really the basic concept of ratio. Let's move to the concept of proportion. So in this case, let's say in the exam, if it's given, there are 4 things and A is to B is proportionate to C is to D. What this means is, this means that the relationship is something like this: A by B equals C by D. Now how this is helpful is, so for example, if let's say, I'll draw analogy to my previous problem that we discussed. So let's say for every 2 apples, if you have 3 oranges, what it essentially means is that if let's say you are saying 2 by 3 is the ratio, and if I tell you the number of apples is 60, so can you tell me the number of oranges? And you know that they are proportional, they are in proportion, right? So what does this mean? This means 2 by 3 equals to 60 upon, let's say, x equals to 60 into 3 by 2, 2 into 30. So this actually is 90. So this is the application of proportion. and that's why this concept is useful. So you can find the missing value on this basis. Now third concept for this video is unitary method. What is unitary method? Whenever we are comparing certain things, so for example, if I say you have to compare two rates, one is rate A and the other is rate B. One says my vehicle, I can drive my vehicle and travel, let's say 50 kilometers in 5 hours. The other says I can travel 60 kilometers in 4 hours, or let's say in 12 hours. So the question is, how do you find out which one is faster? So the 50 kilometers per, so what is the rate actually? 50 upon 5, right? That means the rate is 10 kilometer, isn't it? 5 into 10, and this here is 1, so 10 by 1, isn't it? Kilometer per hour. Similarly, this one 60 by 12. If you have to simplify this, this is 12 into 5. So this is 5 by 1, kilometer per 1 hour, isn't it? This is what it is. So now if you keep the denominator as constant, that is 1 in both the cases, it is easy to compare the rates. That's why it's called unitary method, right? So everything per 1 unit. And now if you say 10 kilometer per hour and compare it with, let's say, 12 kilometer per hour, right? Or 5 meters per second, compare it with 6 meters per second, it becomes easy for me to compare. Let's now solve a few problems to further our understanding of ratios. So I would urge you to solve it along with me. They're very, very easy questions, so I think you should not take more than 10 seconds for this question. So 2200 in the ratio of 3:8. That means let the numbers be 3k upon 8k, the ratio, right? And this is what? This is 2200. So these are the two numbers, 3k and 8k. That means the sum of these two numbers should be 2200. That means 8k, 3k plus 8k equals to 2200, or k 11 equals to 2200, right? K is nothing but 200. So if k is 200, the first numerator would be how much? This would 3 into 200, 600, and this would be how much? Your 1600. So what is your correct answer? Option 2. Let's quickly move to the next one. Sometimes you are given ratio between two things. Let's say A is to B is 3:4. You are also given the ratio of B is to C. Now you notice here B is to C is 3:4 again, and they are asking you, tell me what is the ratio of A is to C. Now you may be tempted to say 3:4, but that's not the right answer. And why is that? Because you are not given a direct relationship between A and C, but you can find that out. How you can find that out is, see, you have B here as 4 and B here as 3. If you equate these two numbers, right, that means I told you earlier, if you multiply, divide anything to the numerator as well as denominator, ratio doesn't change. So if I equate these two, maybe I'll get the relationship between these two, right? So if let's say I have to make this 4 and 3, so how can I equate it? Let's take the LCM. LCM is 12. So 4 I have to multiply. If I multiply 3 here, I have to multiply on the numerator side also, right? So this has become how much? 4 into 3, 12, isn't it? And this is 3 into 3, 9. If I make it 12, this one also I will make 12 to equate. So 3 into 4, if I multiply, it will become, if I have multiplied by 4 here, 4 here as well. So how much has the ratio become? 9. This is 12 is to 16. So what is the ratio of A is to C? 9 by 16. Last question, extremely easy. You should take only 15 seconds. It says two terms are 4 by 9. How can they become 2 by 3? So what can you add in these terms? So let's say if you add the value k in these two terms, what is the value of that? K is what you have to find out. What if you add 3? So you can go by options or you can do a cross multiplication. It's both are very easy. I like to go by options. So if I have to make this is 9 plus k, it has to be a multiple of 3 only eventually, isn't it? So what will I add? If I add in 9 plus 4, 13. No. If I add 9 plus 3, 12. Yes, this could be. So 9 plus 3, 12, and 4 plus 3, 7. So 7 upon 12. This doesn't make sense. Wrong, right? If you have 6, 4 plus 6, 10. Upon 9 plus 6, 15. Oh yes, this is our correct answer, because 10 by 15 is nothing but 2 by 3. So we have come to the end of this video, and we learned the very simple concept of ratio. We learned proportion, we learned unitary method, and we solved a few problems. I'll discuss in my next video few more applications of ratio. So thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you in my next video.